Boeing Starliner finally reached the ISS, samples from the hidden side of the moon on his way to Earth, Ariane 6 maiden flight date is out, Starship IFT4 takes off, SpaceX is checking stage 0 pad post IFT4 flight, a bunch of rockets were launched across the world. Hi everybody and welcome to your latest episode of All About Space with me, Christophe Paget. I just had a week off, so this episode covers 2 weeks of space news. This was an event awaiting for many years a newborn in the family of astronaut transport to the International Space Station, the Starliner of Boeing. The Starliner took off from Florida on Wednesday after years of delays caused by redesign, supplier delays, many issues discovered during the demo flight number 1, adding 2 years to the injury, and another 1-year delay after issues discovered during demo flight number 2, including thrusters malfunctioning, parachute string design error, and wrong material used to fire protect capsule wiring. Now, a few weeks ago, more delays were caused by Atlas V oxygen valve issue, as well as capsule helium leak. Now, Wednesday was finally the end of Boeing's nightmare on the way to qualifying the capsule for astronaut service to the ISS. The launch was successful and capsule separation occurred without an issue. Unfortunately, Boeing's bad luck continued with another helium leak which forced the commander, Butch Wilmore, to take over the ship manually whilst the engineers on Earth attempted to fix the problem. As Starliner approached the ISS, 5 reaction control system thrusters failed, likely unrelated to the helium leaks. The thruster malfunction looks identical to the unresolved problems encountered in the previous test flight and will likely have to be understood and resolved before Starliner is certified by NASA. The capsule arrived at the ISS on Thursday, June 6th. The crew will stay at the ISS until June 18th. May 3rd this year, CASC has successfully launched Change E6 rover to the hidden side of the moon on board a Long March 5 rocket. For that reason, a month ago, a relay satellite was sent to indeed allow direct site communication between the far side of the moon and Earth. On Sunday, the rover landed on a giant crater expected to be containing traces of water. Samples were taken using a drill and a scooping device and stored in a metal vacuum container. The container was then lifted off the lunar surface on Tuesday and en route to meet with a re-entry capsule and transferred its sample. The capsule left the moon orbit and is expected to reach Earth, or more precisely land in the deserts of Inner Mongolia around June 25th. ESA Director General Joseph Achbacher has published the precise launch date of Ariane 6 at the Berlin ILA Air Show. The maiden flight is expected to be on July 9th, 2024. We have recently seen the payload being encapsulated inside the fairing, ready to be placed on top of the rocket. They have also completed a wet dress rehearsal. All seems to be set for the 9th, so do subscribe to see the coverage of Ariane 6 maiden flight. After 3 flight tests of the most powerful and largest rocket ever built, SpaceX has launched its 4th flying prototype to suborbital trajectories successfully, as in IFT3. During Starship descent, his forward starboard wing was gradually coming apart through shear heat from re-entry plasma. Despite it, the ship managed to land unaffected. And according to Elon Musk, the booster landed on the planned target. As for the Starship, it was off by some kilometers due to the flap damage. However, Both vehicles have landed softly, as confirmed by Elon, which is a massive improvement from the previous tests. More information will come to light and be given to you in later episodes. At Starbase, we have seen the launch mount upgrade ongoing after the Starship Integrated Flight Test number 4. According to Elon Musk, no major damage was identified post-launch. However, we have noticed the ship quick disconnect being again bent, as seen on the previous flight. 2 Mekazila Towers number 2 sections, along with this chopsticks structure, is being shipped from Florida, as mentioned before, to Starbase to complete the number of sections and get therefore ready to start building the second tower. At Massey site, we have seen the use of Starship number 26, the flapless one, testing the newly built Starship static fire installation. It is assumed that all went well since the Starship number 26 was then removed and put away. Next to it was the prototype B14-1 being installed with a fixture to be later tested in compression. At SpaceX's facility in Hawthorne, California, we have also seen some tests being carried out. 2 astronauts from Axiom Space were testing their pressurized EVA suits on a SpaceX HLS airlock mock-up and operated the HLS elevator in preparation for Artemis 3 and 4 missions. May 30th was the maiden flight of Anirban from Anikul Cosmos in India, which took place after my episode was in the making. Although this rocket was designed for suborbital flight, however, the ambition of the company is to operate an orbital rocket. The next day, Galactic Energy launched a Ceres-1 for its mission Heroes with 5 satellites on board from China. June the 1st, SpaceX launched from Florida another Starlink batch for its mission Group 664. The first stage flew for its 14th time and landed on a drone ship. June the 5th, SpaceX launched another Starlink batch from Florida containing this time 13 direct-to-cell satellites for its mission Group 85. This was the 20th flight of this booster, which landed on a drone ship. On the same day, Rocket Lab launched its second Electron for NASA pre-fire mission called Pre-Fire and Ice out of New Zealand. The same day saw the long-awaited crew certification flight tests of the Boeing's Starliner capsule atop an ULA Atlas V rocket from Florida to the ISS, with 2 astronauts on board, as previously mentioned. June the 6th, Galactic Energy launched its Ceres-1 for its mission Love on Top from China. Shortly after that was the huge Starship rocket launch by SpaceX for its Integrated Flight Test number 4 from Texas. June the 8th, SpaceX launched 2 Starlink batches. The first one was the Mission Group 10-1 from Florida. Its first stage flew for its 16th time and landed on a drone ship. It was, in fact, the 300th successful landing of a Falcon 9 booster, excluding Falcon Heavy. The second Starlink flight was for his Mission 8-8 from California, containing 13 more direct-to-cell satellites. The first stage landed on a drone ship for his 21st time. The last launch that day was the Virgin Galactic flight out of New Mexico for his mission Galactic 7 with 4 spaceflight participants on board and some test equipment. In summary, between January the 1st and June 13th, 116 rockets were successfully launched, for which 73 came from American companies, 27 from Chinese companies, and 3 from Indian companies. I leave you this week with this ancient witness, the fascinating globular cluster NGC 2005, taken by the Hubble Space Telescope before it got further technical issues. NGC 2005 is located about 162,000 light-years from Earth, or in other words, 1.5 quintillion kilometers or 0.9 quintillion miles. Globular clusters are densely packed clusters that can constitute tens of thousands or millions of stars. Their density means that they are tightly gravitationally bound and are therefore very stable. Now, this stability contributes to their longevity. Globular clusters can be billions of years old and, as such, often comprise very old stars. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Christophe Paget and I wish you a great week. Goodbye.